Ladies, we have more power in our marriages than we realize. One of the reasons I teach emotional healing to women is because I believe as women, we are healers, meaning that once we learn something, we are quick to teach it to others, particularly to our husbands or our children. So today I want to share with you 3 things I believe you can do to heal your marriage. And when I say heal, I mean change to the trajectory of the marriage. Bring it back from maybe a state of where you feel lonely in the marriage, you feel unheard or disconnected, to a place where you can regain that love and connection again. Now, I need you to understand that when I teach these methods and strategies, I am talking to 2 healthy people who love one another, who aren't abusive, and who want to make the marriage work. They just maybe feel overwhelmed and don't know how to make it work. So today I want to share with you 3 things that I know that you can do as a wife, that you can do to begin to heal yourself, and then use these tools and strategies to help heal your marriage. The first thing that you have to do is learn emotional awareness. Emotional awareness is going to help you not understand only what you feel and think in your emotions, but also why you feel and think that way. When you become emotionally aware, another wonderful benefit of that is you learn to be responsive and not reactive. That means that you will learn to respond to a situation, even if that means you take a moment, you slow down, and you take time to process what you're experiencing instead of immediately reacting to the situation. And thirdly, the thing that I think is the most important thing to learn when you have emotional awareness is that everything that affects you is not about you. You learn how not to take everything personal. You learn to begin to listen from a healed heart instead of from a broken heart. Because when we hear things from our hurt, pain, and disappointment, we hear it ready in defense mode and believing negative things about ourselves. So therefore, we think we have to fight to defend what we have heard. But when you get the emotional awareness needed, you recognize that maybe what you heard isn't what they meant. And so you stop and ask questions for clarity so that now you can have a conversation based out of love and not one out of hurt, pain, and disappointment. The second thing I encourage you to do is begin to evaluate, what did you grow up believing about marriage? What were your thoughts about being married? Did you get married under the idea that I'm going to marry this person and they're going to make me feel loved and supported in everything that I do? I'm going to have a partner in life and we're going to do everything together. Did you get married with ideas of my husband is going to be the breadwinner? He's going to always be there for me. He's going to understand me. I need you to start really thinking about those things that you may have grown up believing about marriage. Not because they are good or bad, but because maybe some of the things that you grew up believing are limiting the way that you are moving in your marriage. Maybe they are false beliefs that have convinced you that your marriage is supposed to be a certain way. And because it's not working out that way, you think that a marriage is over. So when you begin to evaluate what do we bring into the marriage, the thoughts and beliefs, we can then decide, am I holding my husband, my current husband, hostage to an idea of a husband that doesn't exist, so that I can take time to get to know this husband and then learn how to maneuver in my reality instead of being disappointed because my fantasy doesn't exist. Then lastly, the thing I would want you to begin to take note of is, are you using what Dr. Gottman called the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse of a marriage? Now, in the Bible, the 4 horsemen represented the end times. So Dr. Gottman, who is a marriage specialist, says that there are 4 things that we can do in a marriage that is guaranteed to end your marriage. And so I'm asking you to take time to find out, are these methods that you use more times than not? Because if so, they are guaranteed to ruin your marriage. Do you use contempt? That means, do you speak to your husband in a tone or in a way where in the deepness of your heart and your mind, you believe you're smarter than him, better than him, and you do things wiser than him? Because if you hold contentment, that's going to show up, and that's going to create more tension and deep dissension in the marriage than it will connection. The other thing is defensiveness. Are you always defensive? Can your husband share things with you that you may be doing wrong or things that he doesn't like without you defending? This is why you learn the emotional awareness, because emotional awareness allows you to hear information for the sake of gathering information to learn and not for the sake of defending. The third thing, stonewalling. Stonewalling means that you shut down. You stop talking. Now, there is a process where you go quiet long enough to process your emotions, to feel what you're feeling. But when you're in that state of quietness or silence, you're willing to communicate to your spouse, hey, I need a moment to process. But stonewalling is manipulation. It's like, I'm gonna give them the silent treatment. I'm gonna show them that they're not gonna treat me, act this way, or behave I'm not gonna talk to them. I might do this for an hour, a week, or a day, or however long. But stonewalling over time is a guarantee to lead your marriage to an end result. And then the last thing is criticizing. Do you criticize your spouse? There is a way to constructively critique what your spouse is doing that you need changing in. But criticizing will never create the change that you want, and certainly will not lead to the love and connection that you desire. Listen, if any of this resonated with you, if this is something that you feel like you need help with, if any of this resonated with you, reach out to me at verythoughtfullife.com. I help professional women get clear about who she is so that she can begin to effectively communicate in her marriage and create the loving environment, emotionally safe environment that's necessary to have a husband that feels vulnerable enough to open up to you. So if that is something you believe that you need help with, feel free to book a free call.